Hi, I'm Shonda Miles. Today I'm going to talk to you about 4 reasons why we don't achieve success. 4 reasons why we don't achieve success. And so most of the time we don't achieve success is because the first reason is because we don't want to be seen starting at zero. We don't want to look like an amateur. We don't want to look like a beginner. We don't want people to see us make mistakes. We don't want to fail. We want it to work out perfectly. We want it to be easy. We want our first attempt or trying to attempt, we don't even attempt. We want to work out fine. And in a lot of cases, we look silly. We got to ask for help. We fail. We make mistakes. And so we don't want to be seen starting at zero. But if you want to achieve any level of success, just like everybody else, you got to take the stairs. You got to start at ground zero. You got to be an amateur. You got to learn as you grow, as you go. You got to learn. And so we all have to start at zero. Nobody starts at 100. Nobody. We all got to start at zero. Number 2 is we are afraid that people are going to talk about us. We're afraid. We don't want people to talk about us. We want them, if they're going to say something, we want them to talk about us in a positive light. We want it to be everything to be roses all the time. We want people to like us. A lot of us are people pleasers just by nature. If we're not, we have to fight it on a regular basis. So we don't want people to talk about us. And if we do want them to say something positive, right? It just makes sense. But just know this, the people who are talking about you aren't doing a thing. All they're doing is going from person to person to person, talking about people. They aren't doing anything. So the people that matter are not talking about you. They know the struggle. They know what it takes to be successful. They know what you have to do. They're not talking about you. They support you on the sidelines because they know how hard it is. They're in the same situation, or they're maybe levels ahead of you, but they know how hard it is. They know the path. They know what has to be done. So they're not wasting their time talking about you. So that's number 2. You're afraid people are going to talk about you. Number 3 is we are afraid of not knowing and having to learn as we go. And so we just expect to know everything. We want to do something once we know everything. We want to read the books, take the courses, go to be coached, we want to know all the steps. We don't want it to be in front of us, right in front of us. We can't see the next step. We want God to tell us everything. We want him to tell us the whole plan. And so most of the time, if we knew the whole plan, we wouldn't want to do it because it's scary. But we're not going to know all the steps. We're not going to know everything about what we're trying to do. We just take the steps in faith as we just keep going, put one foot in front of the other, and then we make progress. But we're just afraid of having to learn as we go. And then the last one is we're insecure because we think that we have this insecurity, right? We just, for whatever reason, we think it's not going to work. For whatever reason, we've built this case that it's just not going to work. So if you are someone who wants to be successful, you're going to have some fears, right? You're doing something you've never done before. But just know that insecurity, that's just part of it. I think about Oprah Winfrey, an interview she did, and she was talking about, she had interviewed President Barack Obama at the time, Beyonce, all these different celebrities, and all of them were insecure. They wanted to know they had done okay. They wanted to know they had done the right thing during the interview, that the interview went okay. And so just know that if celebrities, people that we have looked up to or aspire to be or think they're doing, in their field, they're one of the top people in their fields. If they are insecure, why would we think that we're not going to be insecure? Insecure is just part of it. It's just you've never done it before, so that's why you feel insecure. You're worried about if it's going to work. But what I think about is more important is, what if it worked, if we just put the work in? And a lot of times we want it to work, but we hadn't done any work. We hadn't done anything. We just miraculously think that we're going to jump over the finish line, and we haven't done any work. We hadn't showed up at the starting line. We haven't done anything. So just think about this. 4 reasons why most people are not successful. Number 1 was we don't want to be seen starting at zero or starting out small. Number 2 is we're afraid that people are going to talk about us. Number 3 is we are afraid of having to learn as we go. And then 4 is we're insecure. So these are normal things. You just got to push past. You got to show up and take the action every single day in order to get to where you want to be.